with me. So, a little bit different today. If you tuned into the live yesterday, here I was in my office, PowerPoint planned, with a couple of key points about how we help leaders learn, right? What does the research tell us about what leaders need in order to be a better version of them, whether it is stretch assignments, developmental relationships, and content, right? Learning in classroom setting or other types of educational opportunities. So I started off with that yesterday to connect it into what we're doing at the Pyramid Group with our expansion around not only offering courses, training, workshops, keynotes, breakouts, programs on site in your conference room, your training room, your stage, virtual, and now through our learning management system where you get me recorded like this, well, all different kinds of settings, with content. And that ties to what I want to share with you today. So literally, this is Tuesday morning. I was doing some third shift training with one of my favorite local manufacturers right down the street from me. So I was there early this morning. Now I'm at my second location for today. So I'm on client site. This is part of their training room that I am in today. And again, meeting with leaders all day today in different types of roles, providing that 20% that we talked about yesterday in terms of that course content. But here's something we've really tried to do. Even though I'm in a training room, can't quite see it all here today, but it is here. And we're having conversations in here. What's always been important to me as part of our course content is what you do with it next. It's an investment for a company to not only bring someone like me in, but to bring people together because that's expensive. So they're in here learning, an investment of them, but they're also not doing something else, right? That investment, though, the value goes up so much more when they can walk out and literally in their next conversation, their next email, their next meeting, the next decision they make, when they can take that learning in real time out, that investment, that value grows even more. That ripple effect is the impact I want to share with you today of why we invest in this. And so often within my leadership curriculum, I like to talk about when leaders do not lead. So no impact, different impact. So when leaders lead and we get the performance and we get the relationships and we drive results, right? There's impact. There's also impact when leaders do not lead. Consider this for just a moment. If you are a people leader, a project leader, a technical leader, an expert leader, right? No matter how you're influencing, if we don't influence, if we're not leading our team, they're following someone. It just may be the person you didn't really want them following. What else do I think about in these conversations that I have every single day? When leaders do not lead, confusion increases. Decisions are delayed. Priorities are not clear. We're going after different goals in different ways. And influencers rule. Remember, when I'm not leading my team, they're following someone. It just may be the person I didn't want them following. Influencers rule. Negative, destructive conflict happens more often when leaders do not lead. Motivation drops, productivity declines. Thus, achieving results is difficult. People do their own thing because we're not aligned. We're not acting and moving and driving results as a team. And people can sabotage what we're doing, the vision, the work, and people leave. So what does that mean for us? Leaders are going to have an impact. People will have an impact in your organization. It's just really a matter of what kind of impact do you want them to have. You can give them the tools and the techniques and the support and the growth opportunities or not. Now, every organization is at a different stage and phase for what you can invest in and what's possible. I like to point out there is a cost to growing leaders in your organization. There's also a cost not to. It's really just a matter of the impact that you want, the kind of impact that you want to have. So let's take a look. I have a few other notes here. So when we invest, when we develop our teams to that next step, right? We can have an even better, more intentional impact. You know, I think about development being such a personal process because how you might develop is different how you develop and is different than how I develop. And development means different things to different people because, right, we just need different things out of the process. So what does it mean for you and your organization? What do you want leaders to be able to do differently than they are now? Or whether differently is better or it hopefully it's not worse, right? We don't want people to do worse, but what part of better? What do you want that impact to have? So, you know, when I think about the last 15 years I've offered full-time, focused on helping organizations improve. Because if you think about it, right, we're born, usually cared for, at least by organizations. We're educated in and through organizations. We're either working in or customers of organizations, and then typically cared for by organizations at the other end of the lifespan too. And so this organizational life is critical. And if you look at anything that I've published out there, put out there, or tried to add into this conversation and into the wider world is we can't do this alone. We need to do this better together. And so for my last 15 years, it has been about showing up in the moments where we need to have conversations. We need tools in our toolkits. We need resources in order to drive better results, whatever that is you do, whatever mission, purpose your organization, your team is setting out for. And, you know, that's why I've really decided that if this is what I'm doing for the next 15 years or so of my professional life, that's a pretty good life, right? If we can help each other out a little bit more on this pathway of creating stronger, better, more resilient organizations to navigate and be made and remade to what we need them to be so we can do what we need to do in the coming years, leadership still matters. If you want to talk about what that looks like in your organization, you're just not sure under what program that looks like or format that looks like or what are the best resources, I will have a conversation with you anytime we can put that together. You don't even have to hire us, right? I'm so committed to the fact that we need our organizations to be the best they can, and we need great leaders to take us forward, to keep our communities thriving, to keep our organizations serving and providing all that they do. I would love a conversation with you to see what the best options are for your team, for you, or for your organization. We here at the Pearman Group will continue to offer every hour we can. Trust me. Remember, I was doing third shift training last night, right? Any hour we can, we'll be providing on-site support in training rooms, much like this one. We'll be providing some virtual options. So when your team is dispersed and you best are gathered together through virtual format, I'll do that too. And now that we're building out one more option, we have over 40 hours plus some staff development exercises, worksheets you can download, webinars you can watch, but we have over 40 hours of content available to your leaders to jumpstart their learning now. With me doing this sharing ideas, giving you options, downloads, choose your own adventure. What way will you learn best? And I'm excited to show you that. We have a whole team ready to take you through our steps of the process to see what is the best fit for you and your team. Thank you for tuning in for a few minutes today. You know how to find us. We welcome questions. Message us, email us. If you search Celina and Iowa, our websites appear. I mentioned it a moment ago, but leadership still matters. If we're not leading our teams, they're following someone. It just may be the person you don't want them following. As organizations, we have to continue to navigate change and improve, because if we don't, we're done. Not investing into leadership development will have an impact. Investing into better leadership development resources will also have an impact. It's a matter of what we can do when. I encourage you to look at the options. There's so many more options we have these days through so many sources. And maybe your organization isn't ready to invest in you. I'll always encourage you to invest in yourself. And that's a lot of ways to do that. Certainly there are fiscal ways, things we purchase or buy access to that help us, but there are other ways. Taking the time, learn something, right? Read something, listen to something, watch something today that will make you a better person. And if we can help along the way, or you're looking for some of my favorite resources, I'll happily share them with you. So today, for these few moments, impact matters. Let's choose the best ways we can make an impact for others and help each other out, supporting each other in this learning process. I can't wait to see what we learn next together. Take care, be well, and I'll see you soon.